Hello and welcome to Friday Flowers. Today we're going to do a tangle called PRAA. So the first thing that we're going to do is draw our frame. Alrighty, I'm just going to draw one flower for PRAA because I really want to concentrate on the details of it. So to help draw it, I'm just going to turn my tile diagonally, and then I need to draw it down a little bit, so I'm not going to draw any bigger than that. Okay. So I am going to draw a line like this, kind of making like a football kind of thing, but a little bit wider than that. And then I'm going to connect them like that, okay? And the next thing that I'm going to do is draw a little PRAA stem. Okay, now the next step is we're going to put a couple of little balls here on top of the stem. So I'm going to start with one kind of in the middle and then build out from there. Just a few, doesn't have to be too many. So something like that. I'm going to add an aura to the top of this PRAA. So to do that, I'm going to draw a line up and then out, okay? And then down, like that. Okay? In the step outs that the CZT has for this pattern, it doesn't show doing this right now, but I like to do it first before the next step. And then I'm going to take my 005, which is smaller than the 01, and I'm going to make some lines. So I'm going to kind of go towards the middle like this. And then you're going to want to vary kind of the direction and then maybe even the length of these lines. Okay. And then what you're going to want to do is put some balls at the top. I'm doing this with my 01, but it doesn't really matter. Then I'm taking my 005 again, and next you put like a series of little ticks around it like that. Isn't that cute? Cute, huh? And that's really basically how you do PRAA. But then I want to add a little bit more detail in it that's not really in the original step outs. But I think it might be nice to round off these right here. So I'm just going to round them off ever so gently on each corner. And darken part of that line where it meets. Okay. And now to go on to the shading. So what I'm going to do for shading is I'm going to kind of shade around these little dots a little bit. And then I'm going to shade up on the sides of each petal, the right side of each petal. And then put a tiny bit of whatever's left of my tortilla on the right side of the balls. There's not really a lot left, so it's not going to be a lot. Okay, and then let's decorate this stem a tiny bit. I'm going to put a triangle in there. There we go. And then I think I'm just going to leave it at that. So I'm going to put some sparkles here. And there is super cute PRAA. Now, someone asked me, oh, what if you put like a little decoration or like something tiny like that? So I think I'm going to add an insect to my PRAA, just a very simple one. So obviously not anatomically correct at all. And so I'm going to start that with my O1, and I am just going to, this is going to not be a very big flower, especially in comparison to my insect that is going to go on here. So if I had left some room, I probably would have put it flying up here, but it's fine. So I'm going to put it going in this direction. So, no, maybe it'll be flying to the flower. Who knows? So I'm just going to make a small oval, okay, and color that in. I'm making a dragonfly. That's my dragonfly's body. And then I'm just going to make like a little orb and color that in too. So that's its head. So I'm going to flick out some antennas. And then I'm going to make like using kind of like flux to make the wings. So it's a big dragonfly compared to my flower, but that's okay because this is Whimsical Flower Friday. And then I'm just going to decorate these just a tiny bit. Put another sparkle over there. Okay, now it is time to do the frame. So let's just have it. Oh, okay. So all I'm going to do for the frame today is just make kind of like a curved on the corner frame, but just do straight lines because I don't really want to take away from the flower. It's a pretty detailed flower, and I don't want to take away from that by doing a more complicated frame than what we already have. I'll close that up. And that is PRAA with our little dragonfly. Oh, I did forget what we can do with the dragonfly, or almost forgot, is we can just shade the bottom of his wings a little bit. And it's just a tiny, tiny bit of pencil just to give him a little bit more dimension. And there we go.